Now let's shift to another one which has caught our eye here on Newsdays about Ukraine's Navy claiming that a temporary humanitarian corridor will start working through the Black Sea, and it will apparently be available for commercial ships trapped there since the full-scale invasion, as well as for grain and agricultural products. Kyiv, however, admits that there is still a threat posed by sea mines and Russia itself. And while the war understandably occupies people's thoughts, there are also those looking ahead to the future and what a post-war Ukraine will look like. Sergiy Tsivkach is head of UkraineInvest. It's the job to make sure that the finance and support are there to rebuild his country. I asked him earlier about the investment needed for rebuilding shipping ports that have been targeted in the attacks.
International money and Ukrainian money can be directed in order to rebuild infrastructure and security arrangement for Ukraine after we win this war is of paramount importance, because if we will join NATO or will have special security protocol for Ukraine that will be robust and will have legal implementation, that would make investors more confident in investing in Ukraine, in specifically such a strategic assets as port infrastructure.
Rebuilding of these ports is of paramount importance. So what kind of conversations are happening, especially with international donors, and which are the countries which are coming forward to aid in this effort?
Ukraine during 2022 and 2023 received about $60 billion of financial support from 22 countries and institutions like World Bank, European Investment Bank, and the National Monetary Fund.
President Zelensky has promised recently at a conference to root out corruption in the country in a bid to increase investor confidence. Now, how widespread is this corruption and how will he go about this? What kind of challenges could he face in this?
Corruption exists everywhere in the world, in every country. It just depends at what level. But you cannot simply compare Ukraine of 2010 or 2012 compared to Ukraine of 2023. It's a very different country. And corruption has been tackled for many years. We have significant anti-corruption infrastructure in Ukraine. Now we see real action. So people are being arrested. People at a very high level in government of Ukraine. Ukraine is cleaning itself. We're not only fighting external enemy, we're also fighting internal enemy in Ukraine.
But at this point of time, are businesses willing to come to Ukraine to make that kind of investment?
Yes, absolutely. I'm actually surprised that we have seen in 2022 more investment cases in Ukraine than probably in 2021. Companies like Bayer, German agricultural company, they will invest 60 million euros in new facility. Company Kingspan, Irish global player in the field of manufacturing of energy efficient construction materials. Ukrainian IT sector, it was growing pre-war, and it was growing even during the war.
How much more money is needed from now? Because obviously the war is ongoing. What kind of investments will be needed to keep establishments running during the conflict to ensure that people who've stayed back also have jobs?
According to World Bank, the cost of rebuilding of Ukraine, direct damage only, is $411 billion. And we have received about $60 billion of US in financial support. So the gap is significant. Ukraine is working on development of economic processes in Ukraine in order to be able to use Ukrainian money as well. But we need to remember about Russian assets. There are hundreds of billions of Russian assets that were frozen throughout the world. They have to be confiscated as well. Russia has to pay for what it has done in Ukraine.
And many Western countries are debating just that. That was Sergiy Tsivkach, who is head of UkraineInvest, speaking to me earlier.